Gerard, thank you for joining us today. We're at the One-to-One Mining Conference in Cape Town. Tell me a little bit more about your company.
Yeah, so Scott, DeepGreen is the name of my company, and we're all about recovering metals from the ocean floor. And I have one in my hand here, and this is like a battery in a rock. So we have nickel, we have copper, cobalt, and manganese. And as we know, the world is moving into a more sustainable sort of mood, which means that we want to move away from fossil fuels and we want to electrify the fleet and use renewable energy. But to do that, we're going to need a lot of metals. So the question for society is, where are we going to get them from? Are we going to continue to go down the process of ripping up more rainforests or going to areas that perhaps we shouldn't be going to? Or our argument is, do we go to this massively abundant resource that sits on the ocean floor and in the form of polymetallic nodules?
So a lot of people will be asking the question, is that difficult to get? Because obviously you can mine elements that there, obviously there are issues around mining things, but why would everybody not just go to the ocean floor?
Well, you know, one day they will. I'm very confident of it, because this is not a niche solution. You know, there are estimated to be more than 34 billion tons of these in the area in which we have a deposit. On one of our licenses, we have 900 million tons of very high grade nickel, copper, cobalt, manganese. If you put all that into copper, it's more than 7.2% copper equivalents. So in time, I think more and more people will go to the oceans because it makes so much sense. The other advantage of this is no tailings. We can generate all the metals, and we are able to put all of the metals back into solution. And so it means at the end of it, we're not having to put material into tailings dams. And so as we start to move down the pre-feasibility, as we are now, and into feasibility, what we're going to find is that the challenges aren't as great as people might have imagined. Because back in the 1970s, they started to collect these metals from the ocean floor. It was only the regulations that stopped them. And so the regulations are now much more secure. We have exploration licenses. By the middle of next year, we are confident that we'll have exploitation licenses. So that gives us a legal framework under which to operate. And so then it's just about solving some of those other little issues, like lifting them up 4,000 meters. But engineers love solving a problem, and of course we're engaging industry. We're working with the offshore oil and gas industry to build the systems that will help us recover these nodules, because of course oil and gas is very used to the water.
Yes, a lot of experience at working at depth.
Yes, a lot of experience working at depth. And they're looking forward, thinking those rigs aren't going to be as busy in 20 or 30 years' time, and so what are they going to do with them? So this represents a big new industry for them, and so they're working with us. And on the processing side, of course, we have lots of candidates to partner with us there. We have our own processing unit, but we have customers now saying, hey, we'd like to know a bit more about this processing. Those customers are called electric vehicle manufacturers. And for the first time ever, they're wondering, where are they going to get their materials from? Are they going to be able to get their materials to build their chemistry sets that they've now decided on? And so, you know, we might find those customers starting to take an interest in the processing of these nodules. So we're really building a new ecosystem around this new category.
And what was the purpose of you being at the One-to-One event?
You know, we wanted to meet some mining investors. To date, we've attracted people like Maersk, who are one of our big shareholders. So you wonder, why would a shipping company commit $25 million when you don't see any of the big mining companies on our register? And so we wanted to meet a few of those. We've just appointed Macquarie Bank to work with us on our next round of capital. And so we thought we'd come and, you know, kick the can around a bit.
And how has the One-to-One event been for you?
So far so good. I mean, I don't think you can beat the weather. And we've met lots of interesting people and some great investors. And, you know, whether you invest in a company like DeepGreen or not, everyone's a sucker for the story. So, you know, my jaw will be worn out by the end of the day.
Very good. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.